Stay a while and listen.
Hey everyone, this is Brad here. We're doing some contract crowdsourcing today, courtesy of FanGraphs.com and Carson Sestouli. Project is to walk through all of the free agents, the notable ones anyway, and predict how many years and dollars they're going to receive. Let's get to it. We'll begin with ballot number 2 because I already responded to ballot number 1 and can't undo my choices. So first up on the list is Asdrubal Cabrera. Carson offers some basic stats so you don't have to really dig too deep in reminding yourself of 1, what the player has performed like, and 2, what they're paid recently. So in Cabrera's case, I don't think he'll be hugely sought after. One guy coming off the list already, Eduardo Escobar, I think has some effect on Cabrera's value and a number of teams that might be in on the market for him, because he's probably maybe third choice there, with Marwin Gonzalez as the first choice. So I'm going to say he'll find 2 years. I don't think he's going to get paid a lot for those 2 years, though. I'm going to say maybe $5.5 million. I could easily see that being less. More doesn't strike me as very likely. Next up, Ian Kinsler. Seems like we got a second baseman theme here. I don't think Kinsler's going to make that much. He's going to have to go on a 1-year make-good contract after kind of struggling this year. And, it's a shock to see he even got to 2.3 WAR in 2018, to be honest. Just kind of following along with how his season went, it didn't seem that good. I'll say that some team gives him $4.5 million on a 1-year deal. Whether he's willing to take that might be another matter entirely. DJ LeMahieu, I think he will be extended a qualifying offer. I think he will accept the qualifying offer, and thus that is my most likely outcome. I don't really understand if Carson wants me to then say what if he doesn't get or accept, so I'll approach it this way. He's entering his age 30 season, but he's a steady, good player. That's annoying. He's a steady, good player, so we're going to put that as probably a 3-year contract. Second base is just so deep. In past seasons, easily a 4 or 5-year contract. And then I'll say he gets like $10.5 million. Why I would expect the Rockies to go with the qualifying offer and LeMahieu to accept. From the Rockies' perspective, that chance at getting a decent pick, there is a chance that he'll get over the $50 million that's required to get a first rounder or supplemental rounder in return. And getting him back for 1 year at this rate fits pretty well with their short-term goals, I think. They don't have to commit to him long-term, and at the same time, their team's pretty competitive in the near term. And then LeMahieu probably should accept it because it's the only time he'll have to deal with it. And then also, I'm looking at a total 3-year contract that's less than half or less than twice of what he'd get with the qualifying offer. Daniel Murphy. This is a tricky one because he plays well when he's in. He has some off-field issues that might limit his market slightly. And he struggled with health. I'm going to say that somebody gives him a second year, and it'll be around $10.5 million, I think. So far, a couple kind of almost backup level guys you can start, and then 2 guys I think you do start. And the difference in that, in my opinion, is about $5 million, give or take, with some extra years. Adrian Beltre, I'm figuring will not be extended a qualifying offer. He'll only be looking in the 1-year range, and I'm going to say someone will, that's probably aggressive. Let's call it $8 million. Josh Donaldson cannot be offered a qualifying offer. He missed most of the season, which obviously hurts his value. I think a one-year deal is quite possible, but being age 33, he may be willing to take a slight discount on a longer-term contract. So 10 million and 14, or 3 years and 14.5 million a season is my guess. On a one-year deal, I think he'd make closer to like 18 or 19 million. Freddie Galvis, this is an interesting one. I think he could easily fall into that Cabrera bundle as a super utility guy. I'm going to say he finds a 3-year contract, not getting paid too much on that contract though. I'll call it 3.75 a year. Marwin Gonzalez is the, I think, first choice of the utility crowd, and probably my pick for the best of this bunch, at least so far that we've seen. I think he'll probably look a little bit like the Tyler Chatwood of this offseason, and that teams will be aggressive early to get him. I think he gets a 3-year contract with a chance for it to be up to 4. And I think the average annual value is going to be pretty impressive. We'll go with 13 million for now. I think it could get above that easily. Jose Iglesias, another kind of a better version of Freddie Galvis. Not quite as defensively able, but still pretty good. I think he'll actually get a 4-year deal somewhere and make in the neighborhood of 9.5 million. I don't know that this is a good choice, a good investment. Isn't one I would make, but I think this is probably around where he'll be paid. Manny Machado, that's a tough one. Let's see, we can go up to 15 years. This one honestly requires more research, but I think a 10-year deal in the vicinity of 30 million is probably, call it 33 million, is probably what we'll be looking at the end of the day. There's going to be various factors that make this model of forecasting kind of difficult to use. For example, private opt-out after the 3rd year. That opt-out will be extremely valuable in a cash sense, and that'll lead to the actual reported annual value to be lower than what the intrinsic value of that contract is because of the opt-out. So I'm guessing probably after 2 or 3 years an opt-out, after another 3 years maybe an opt-out, probably multiple opt-outs. And that's second ballot.